everyone, my name is Shanique Smalling. Most of you might know me from TikTok as Shanique is still a menace. Okay, so I think I started TikTok like probably 2 or 3 years ago. And when I had just started out, we didn't really have a lot of Jamaican TikTokers. So when I started getting traction, I got like, I just woke up one morning and it's like everybody did know me. And then I realized that people started pointing out specific things about me, like, oh, Shumakai, or she not the best, like certain things that I don't really have control over. So that's when I realized, like, oh, all right, so this is happening.
Bully somebody, me feel like it feel good to me by bullying others, telling them things to hurt them, because I don't have a high self-esteem, so I use that for bully other people. So
what kind of things do you say, or what kind of things do you do to them?
Like make fun of them, trouble them, hit them if I want to, make them afraid of me. Yeah.
To me, bullying is when you're picking on certain kids, even when they're younger than you, and you know that you want to be the boss of them. When even if you're in a family that you don't get most attention, you just take it upon other children. This is not me, and I shouldn't be bullying other kids because we don't know what they are going through as well. So I just sit and I write about it.
My name is Alias Swaby, acting supervisor for Homestead, place of safety. I've been doing this job for 21 years. Years ago, we had an incident that was where I used to work first. You had some students there, but you would have students who say that they're on top because those students were ending up actually going to prominent high schools and stuff, and there was a child there who had a baby who came into us. So the one that is going to the prominent high school thought that child was less than her, so she called her a name, and the girl repeat back the name to her and call her the name, and she actually chopped her with a cup in her head. Yes, because she felt that that child was beneath her. And I had that on my head for years, and I still remember it up to now.
Alright, hi, I'm Monet. I'm well known, I'm a famous TikToker. I used to get bullied a lot in high school because I did little maga. I still little maga. Little maga, I have no mouth. I know, so them always take set on the quiet one and thing. And we usually stand up for myself, and yeah, I'm not back from nobody. And all up to now, I still get bullied on the media and thing. But you know, you have to just swallow out all when you feel away and thing. In 8th grade, I think, and I took a picture on my birthday, and then all of a sudden I see my phone start blow up, like them collage me with this animal. I'm not telling a lie, but it looked like it. And it reached over pink wall, and everybody bash me, and I say, she and the animal fever and this and that. And I did feel like we start break down and I start ball. And I think at the end of summertime to go back to school and thing, and the picture did that trend. So I never want to go back to school, and I did that cry and everything. When I reached school, everybody did that laugh. And I say, I share the girl and this and that and whatever.
My name is Mistress Melissa Dinal English. I'm the teacher at Homestead, place of safety.
And how long have you been a teacher here?
7 years, but in total 20, because I was a health and social care assistant. Some of them withdrawn, they don't want to be a part of. So, you know, you would go to them and you talk to them, and then you would get it out of them. If it's a case where you as a staff cannot manage, you have other persons who you can go to. Say, for instance, the manager, the social worker, or the counselors. They can take it to them, and they will take it from there.
My name is Rashina Anderson, National President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselor in Education and the Guidance Counselor of Region 7.
My name is Jermaine Young, and I'm also a Guidance Counselor in Region 7.
Some of the signs that you can look out for a child who is being bullied, they may be withdrawn. There may be scars that they try to hide on their bodies. Their whole temperament might change. So children are different, and it may move from one spectrum to the next. For example, you may have a child whose temperament is extroverted and a social butterfly, always speaking up, participating in the class. But for some reason, you notice this child no longer wants to speak up, no longer wants to participate, and especially if they're around a particular set of persons, you realize that is when it happened. That child has now become silent for most part. That is a sign, as well as you may have, to the extreme opposite, a child who used to be calm, doesn't talk much, has now become aggressive, short-tempered. So I would encourage parents to know the temperament of your child, know their usual or behaviors that are the norm, and look out for that. Look out for when they're withdrawn, not speaking up much anymore. So those are some of the signs that they can look for.
There are situations where students in the classroom will become loud and boisterous. There are several instances of outbursts from one particular student, and as a result, this teacher may surmise that this student is misbehaving or is ill-mannered. That too is another sign that that child is being bullied. But the space is not created for this person to speak or to act. So as a result, in the classroom, rather than focus on the lesson, they're focusing on what is happening on the inside. And as a result, you see this outward emotional expression, though negative. So these are things that our colleagues or teachers, parents too, should be looking for and paying attention to. Don't ignore it and don't be quick to label it. Have a conversation with guidance counselors.
Most times they are aggressive. They get very aggressive. And sometimes, because they are being bullied, sometimes they don't even stop to listen what someone else is saying. They're just aggressive.
Well, sometimes it's not even the children them a bully other children. Sometimes it's older people saying stuff to the children, making them feel bad
and uncomfortable.
Even the teachers. Sometimes they say things to make students feel bad. So I don't think bullying never stop in a school or either homes either. Because sometimes the children may disrespect the staffs, but sometimes the staffs may get out of line and disrespect the children as well. So the bully is not going to stop.
I am Dal Keith Thomas, Senior Education Officer, Acting, Ministry of Education, Region 7. Bullying is a major issue in our schools, and so the ministry has been working assiduously to address that. Each region has been assigned a school safety and security officer who works closely with the Dean of Disciplines to help minimize bullying. We have also seen an increase in the allocation of guidance counselors in our schools. Also, recently the government has increased funding to help, especially the secondary schools, to treat with behavioral issues. And of course, the Ministry of Education and Youth, in collaboration with UNICEF, have been training our schools in school-wide positive behavior and intervention and support framework to help our school be more positive in its approach to treating with our students. And that is done through 3 to 5 core values that are taught and practiced by all stakeholders in the schools.
My name is Christine Rossello, in Educational Social Worker of the Ministry of Education, Region 7, Clarendon. All right, the conflicts that arise in school varies depending on the age group and also the school and where the children are from. And so you have peer pressure, you have gang-related violence, which stems from gambling, and also unresolved issues related from communities that goes over into the school environment, and just about the whole issue of children not dealing with their own situation that they're having in their own personal space. So that is a trigger to how they relate to their peers, and that also affects how they treat each other. All right, family dynamics play a very important role in bullying, because a lot of times what is happening at home affects how the children relate to their peers at school. And not only their peers, but to just about everybody, relationship on a whole. So the family, which creates the first environment for socialization, impacts how the child relates to each other and also to themselves. And the support coming from home impacts how they deal with the triggers and the emotions that they face in relation to the conflicts that leads to bullying.
These victims are oftentimes referred to the guidance counselors, right? Where we engage them in individual counseling sessions, right? And again, it depends on the severity of the situation. We may deem it necessary to seek outside or further assistance to help the students in order to cope or to overcome the challenges. So the external support that I speak of is, or takes the form of our educational social worker, right? Each region has one or two assigned. We have two, thankfully. We also have at our disposal, our education officer and the guidance and counseling unit, who we oftentimes refer for guidance as it relates to handling these matters.
To me, it made me feel happy at first, until some of the person that I'm bully start having suicidal thoughts. So I look into myself and say, if that was me, if someone bullied me, what would I do? So I apologized and stop bullying.
So you're not a bully anymore?
No.
Okay, as of when?
Well, last year.
The reason why I bully is because most time I live with a single mother, and she have 8 kids, but at the same time I don't really get attention, so I normally take it out on the kids, make fun of them, hit them. And when I got bullied back and I felt how it felt, I look and said, this is wrong, I shouldn't be doing this, so I stopped. I'm a changed person. I look on the way, I look on two sides of the story, I don't just look on one. And when them tell me 2 sides story, I pick out what is right, and them some of them normally look and just circle it instead of me bring it up. I had suicidal thoughts, I started to cut, I started to cry, right? And at one point, I was going to overdose.
Oh, I felt bad. At first, my first thought was like, all right, cool, so I'm done with TikTok, I'm done with social media. And it affected me very badly. And I found myself like rewatching videos like 100 times before I posted it, doing certain angles, so like only a certain part of me shows and stuff like that. But eventually, I just kind of just loosen up and then just...
Okay, so we have the security and safety policy guidelines, because we don't have a specific policy for bullying, but that safety and security guidelines has a comprehensive section that deals with bullying in terms of what it is, how to treat with it. Of course, there is what we call the zero tolerance approach, where once there is any instance of bullying, it is addressed immediately, recorded, and also treated with. We also have the anti-bullying campaign, like Just Meds, which we had recently, that help our students to pay attention to the fact that bullying is happening and how they should deal with those issues that come along as they try to do their day-to-day teaching and learning.
I spoke to my mom. I think most people confide in like their parents, and I'm so happy that I had somebody to talk to, because she was like, oh no, Shane, don't stop doing what you do. Everybody now gonna love you. That's okay, as long as you love yourself and you know where you stand for. The persons that reached out to me personally, and like mentors, I would say, that reached out and were like, no, don't stop the way I do, don't stop. Big shout out to them, because that gave me the little push to continue as well. No, it just rolls off my back. Like, I know it comes with it, and I see it this way. It's coming from somebody who has an issue that they don't know how to deal with. So I don't take it personally. Sometimes, not gonna tell no lie, it will rub me like wrong, but I'm not losing sleep over. I'm just etc.
One of the strategies too that we use is we realize that our students are very creative. They're very creative in arts, they're creative in music, dance. So what we tend to do is to employ their creativity to assist us with addressing this systemic problem. So through the Ministry of Education, with their anti-bullying campaign, the Just Meds It vibe, Just Meds It campaign, the students are encouraged to write a jingle. Right? Now, at my institution, we go beyond just that. So it's not just a jingle. You're invited to come up with a skit, come up with a poem, and then they're rewarded. But it's not only about the poem, it's not about the music, it's not about the skit only. What we're teaching students through the message of the other peers is how to develop pro-social behaviors rather than destructive ones. So these are some of the strategies that we can use.
I recall one particular young man that we had many years ago. He was from a poor background, but also a violent community. He would have experienced bullying from both spectrums. So he would have been a part of groups that would bully. He was not the leading bully, but he would have experienced it from that end, bullying others. As a means of intervention for him, when he came to counseling, we had used diversion and we had placed him in the NIB. He was placed in NIB, the National Inter-School Brigade, similar to the cadet. And when he got in there, he now was on the other side of the fence, where some of those other peers began to bully him, because it appeared now as if you're now quote unquote better than us, you're behaving, that kind of a thing. So counseling had helped him, because while he was in the NIB, we would have consistently worked with him to educate him, help him to understand his emotions better, help him with anger management strategies. And we also helped him through counseling how to divert the energy, the anger, into the NIB, and we saw where he made drastic improvement. He moved up from corporal to lieutenant, and today I can say he's a member of the Jamaica Defence Force, and he's one of our proud students who we saw clearly where he could have ended up without intervention and where his life would have been. But to God be the glory, it's a success.
So students, to you, if you know that you're being bullied, if you're the victim of bullying, do not be afraid. I know it's easier to hear the words and it's easier said than done, but let me encourage you to report the matter to at least your guidance counselors. We are here in the system for you. That is why we're actually here. It's really for you. So we want to implore you, want to encourage you to come and speak to us. If you're afraid to verbalize these words, then put it on a sheet of paper, leave it on our tables, or stick it under the door, right? Let us know of the situation. Thereafter, we will conduct our investigations, and then we can provide you with the support. If we're not aware that this is happening to you, then it may escalate, right? And then you might not only be the victim of bullying, but the victim of something else. So come and speak to us. If you're afraid to talk to us, speak to your parents. Let your parents come in and have a conversation with us. Because at the end of the day, it's all about partnership. We're partnering with your parents, they're partnering with us, the school, for your holistic development. So come talk to him, man.
All right, so firstly, when it comes to bullying, if you're not saying something, you are a part of the problem. I try to push body positivity so much. I want everybody to be comfortable in their skin. That's why I run jokes sometimes and be like, oh, Mr. Tickers, but I am comfortable in my skin. I don't have a problem. I try to show love to everybody and I make it known. Girls that look like me, it is totally fine. Wear what you want to wear, do what you want to do, as long as you're being true to yourself. So, okay, so this is extremely important because representation matters. I believe that if I had a person like me when I was younger, like, girl, be yourself, nothing wrong if you're little or nothing wrong if you're big, it would have given me a certain boost in my self-esteem. So like when I first started getting comments like that so much, it would have been like, oh, this is not a me problem. This is more of a them problem. So I definitely feel like it's a big, representation is a big deal for this.
It is always said that there are many parts and many sides to a story. So a case in point where bullying is the nature of a situation, you want to go in and you want to sit and listen to the individuals. So you want to listen to the victim as well as listen to the perpetrator. Having done that, then you would have to decide on who you are going to work with.
It is important because some of them is doing it and they're not even knowing that they're doing it. You understand? Some of them based on their backgrounds, it's their way of life. You know, you're showing them a different way, how to handle the situation, how to handle people in general. So it is very important.
Me as example, like whenever I get negative comments under my video, I would make a video and like tell them, like pay them the mind and whatever, show them empathy and love and thing. Yeah. I think it is important because a lot of children are getting bullied, and I think it would show them emotional support and thing. And most people stress out and I go through depression over being bullied. So I think this will help them in the best way and make them feel better.
To have confidence, to stand brave and be themselves. Fight against their bullies, but not too hard though. Because you can bully them at the same time when you have fight against them. So be strong and be brave and have confidence in yourself.
I know that a lot of you kids out there don't have a high self-esteem. I don't either, but it's okay because at the same time, we won't pressure you because we're kids. We don't reach now in our life here as stressed or yet. But at the same time, all I have to say is be brave, be strong, have confidence, find something that occupies your time, write, cry because it's okay to cry. And just be you. Look inside the mirror and be like, this is me and this is what I want to be.
But just like I said, people say what they want to say. For them mouth, just make them talk and not make it a big deal and not pay them the mind. That's it. Just blank them out, like me.
So first of all, bullying can come in many forms. It's not just verbal. You have persons doing things like microaggressions and stuff like that. If you feel like if you say something, you're being weird or you're trying to start an issue, but you know personally that the comment that was made towards you was a little bit shady, let me just say to you, things people say, don't personalize it. At first, it won't come easy. It's easier said than done, but try not to personalize every single thing that people say to you because you have people having bad days, you have people having bad lives, and they just decide that, you know what, me I take it out on you today. Love yourself and you will find that other people just love you naturally. So you'll be okay. You'll definitely be okay. Just overall, my only thing is just love yourself and be true to yourself. Once you know who you are, and even if you don't know completely who you are, once you're on the track to figuring that out and doing things that feel comfortable to you, you'll be fine. Don't deep anything that people say to you. It's not everything that people say needs to be slept on. As long as you feel like you're doing the right thing, you're being yourself, you'll be okay.